Hi everyone, my name is Zhi. I'm an Agile coach with Teamworks. My job is to help people love their jobs by working in different ways. One of the biggest things in my toolkit that I find really useful is the use of visuals. So today I wanted to share with you that experience and explain the concept of visual thinking. Rather than explain visual thinking or try to define it in a sentence, I wanted to show you the use of visuals in action. Now, imagine the scenario where you're entering a busy car park, and this happens really often when you're in a busy parking mall on the weekend, and you struggle to find an empty parking space. As a side note, you might notice as well that I'm using very simple symbols, so visual thinking doesn't have to be artistic or elaborate. Now, if quite often you struggle to find that parking space, okay, because your view might be obscured. Now, you may have come across this clever mechanism where there are indicators close to the parking lots or often above the parking lots that indicate if a spot is available or not. And if we use the convention of red being unavailable and green being available, then it becomes quite easy to see where the empty parking space is. Now, what this does for the brain, essentially, is... What does this do for the brain? Okay. It converts this process of visual thinking. It converts perceived information into what we call received information. So it's taking the load out of the brain by associating a visual metaphor with a concept that's already known in the brain. Now, if we came back to that parking lot scenario, have you ever encountered the scenario where, say, you're going on a holiday? Now, that's quite rare these days. You're going on holiday and you park your car at the airport and you come back and you can't quite remember where you parked. Was it the south end of the car park, the north, the far end, the near end? Now, I don't know if you've ever been to Wellington Airport, but they're quite clever in the way that they use visuals to help people remember where they parked. So they have their parking spaces labeled alphabetically. In addition to that, they attach a visual symbol to each car park space. So, for example, C might be associated with a cat, and car park D might be associated with a deer. D for deer, right? Now, this is a lot easier to remember than the alphabet. So it's easier to remember an image that I parked in the parking space with a deer symbol associated with it, as opposed to remembering the alphabet, the letter D. So my challenge to you is to use visuals to lift information to make your lives easier. Help your brain join the dots through the use of visuals. With that, I'm signing off. Zhi Lee for Teamworks. I am the visual coach.
I never